All right, everyone. Well, we've got some very tricky news and announcements for Raid Shadow Legends today, and you guys will see exactly what I mean by this right away. So we have got another summoning event coming very soon, and it is going to be a times 10 rates event. However, this times 10 rates event is going to feature a total of 8 champions. This is pretty crazy, definitely a bit different than some of the times 10 rates event that we've had before, but now the question is, does this really change the way that I think about it? Is it actually worth summoning? Is it worth going all out? Now, the answer to is it worth going all out? I do not think so. Unless you are a hyper whale and you just really need a couple of legendaries that are in this list and you have virtually every other legendary, it's not going to be worth going all out. Now, does it change my overall opinion? A little bit. It's a little bit different because when you actually get into this times 10 event with the way that they kind of have it laid out, I actually went through, and as you guys can see to the left of the champions, I went through and I put what category those champions belong to. So, for example, we have our regular legendaries, which belong to the regular 3 affinities. We've got our Void Legendaries, which you can only get from Void Shards, and then we have our Epics. So you can see that in this times 10 rates event, there are 8 champions in total, 2 regular Legendaries, 2 Void Legendaries, and 4 regular Epic champions that do not come from Void Shards. They come from Ancients or Sacred. So they kind of have a mix of everything, which is really smart by Plarium because, if you really want to go crazy on this event, you kind of have to do a bunch of different pulls from all the different types of shards. Now, when you really get into it, though, I want to say that just because you add more champions to a times 10 rates event doesn't necessarily always make it better. If you guys are wondering, I'll give you this little puzzle here that will hopefully blow your mind a little bit into getting a little bit more perspective on these events. But just think about it this way, right? Okay, so if you put 10 times rates on every single champion in the game, wow, Plarium comes out with the craziest event in the world. Hey guys, we're putting 10 times rates on every champion. That's right, every champion now has 10 times rates. But you don't actually increase the chances of getting epics or legendaries. It still stays at 8% or 0.5% right here. Well, the crazy thing is, you actually end up back at the regular summoning rates with no event going on. It's as if nothing happened. It's as if there's no event, because now if you have 10 times the chance to pull everything, but the rates aren't actually increased, then it doesn't even matter because everything is 10 times rate, so it's pretty much as if everything is back to normal. So you have to really think about it that way when it comes to these times 10 rates events. It's nice, especially for the whales who are really going for things in particular, but if you really want to get the most out of your shards, I would absolutely hold off and wait for the double rate events where they increase the chances of getting epics and legendaries. Now, I will say it did change my thinking a little bit. I won't say that this one is exactly like the ones before, because this one has champions from, you've got your legendaries from regular shards, ancients, and sacreds, then you've got your void legendaries, you've got epics. Now, if you guys do want to do a couple of shard pulls, which I say that's totally fine. If you want to test your luck, see if you're the chosen one, maybe the RNG gods have just blessed you and you're going to get some crazy pulls, but not go all out, of course. What's going to be the better pick? Ancient shards or sacreds versus void shards? And the answer to that is actually a little bit surprising. I would actually go with void shards because there are several reasons why. Now, you might not think so because there's 6 champions in this 10 times rates event that are featured that come from ancients and sacreds, and only 2 of them come from void. So you would think that ancients and sacreds are the way to go, but I would actually recommend, if you had to pick one of the two, voids are going to be the way to go. So several different reasons. Number one is we just had a times 2 event for void shards, so it's very unlikely. I won't say 0% because you guys know Plarium likes to occasionally do Plarium things, but I would say it's very unlikely that the next times 2 rates event is also going to be void shards. It's supposed to be sacred shards. However, there is a good chance that they'll go back to ancient shards. They've definitely done that before. They are absolutely not consistent. They will not do, ancients, voids, sacreds, then back to ancients, voids, sacreds. They will mix it up a bit. So they'll go, ancients, voids, back to ancients, then maybe sacreds, or something like that. I don't think they'll do, ancients and then ancients again, or voids and then voids again, but they absolutely won't do, 1, 2, 3, then back to the start, 1, 2, 3. That's not how they do it. But because we just had voids, it's safe to say it's very unlikely that we'll get voids again. So that's one reason. Probably also means that a lot of you guys don't have too many void shards. So, you know, if you want to pull just the 1 or 2 or maybe 3 that you have to test your luck, that's a good amount, I think, without really getting too crazy or getting too carried away. Now, of course, another reason is both Sir Nicholas and Venus are top tier. They are some of the most coveted legendaries in the game. They are absolutely phenomenal. So having 10 times rates on 2 extremely good void legendaries is amazing. Now, I'm not saying that the regular legendaries Rashkard and Martyr are bad. In fact, they are also some of the most highly coveted legendaries, but very important is there are way more regular legendaries in the legendary pool than there are void legendaries. So if you just take a look and see, there are so many more Magic Force and Spirit legendaries, and then you just have the few number of voids. I don't remember the exact numbers. I want to say it's around 30 or so voids, where you've got, you know, 70 something crazy like that regular legendaries. So having 2 extremely good void champions featured with the amount of competition that there is for the other legendaries, the math and the numbers really work out for void shards to actually be a lot better and benefit a lot more from these times 10 rates event, because, you know, it makes sense if you think about it. There's just a lot less competition, a lot less bad stuff that you don't want to get, and your chances of getting one of the featured legendaries is going to be better. Now, again, very important though, I wouldn't go all out. This is just if you're going to take your pick, or if you're, you know, a hyper whale and, you know, you really just need these legendaries. There's one other reason as well, and I haven't mentioned this, and it has to do with an event that is coming out. We do have a summon rush that is going to be starting tomorrow. I don't know exactly how many points it's going to be, but I'm very surprised that they haven't actually updated the amount of points that you get from shards in summon rushes, because void shards still give you, I want to say it's 120 points, something crazy like that, and ancient shards only give you 20. Now, I know void shards are considered more valuable than ancient shards, but 120 points versus 20 is a really big difference. So you're going to get a lot more points by just doing a couple of void summons versus ancient summons, so you'll be able to get some more of those earlier rewards in the summon rush. So, you know, there's a few different considerations, but my general sentiment about these events still stays the same. This is definitely an interesting one, though, and absolutely a tricky one. As a newer player, it's going to be very easy without the information to get carried away into thinking that this event is way better than it actually is. But, you know, hopefully those of you guys who've been watching my videos for a while, you have a pretty good understanding of how the summoning events work in Raid and which ones are going to be the ones that you really want to go for. So that's pretty much going to be everything related to the summoning events. Now, going back to the regular events, we do have the champion trainings, which are still going. We've got the April Fools daily login rewards, where you only need to get 1 point, but you're capped to 1 point per day. This is awesome. Still have 9 days left on that. We have the giant 30,000 point champion training, which I've pretty much given up on at this time. I mean, I've only got 3,000 points. I'm not even going for it. And we have an artifact enhancement event that just started up as well. So this is interesting because we do have that champion training, but we also have a spider tournament which just started up as well. Now, the rewards for the spider tournament, you know, they're okay, I guess. It's not the absolute best. I know they've thrown a lot of legendaries in the spider tournaments lately, but spider's going to be one of those dungeons where you're going to be farming it quite a bit anyway. So, you know, any extra rewards, especially at a time like this where we have a spider tournament and we have that artifact enhancement, you can really get some crazy efficiency right now and get a lot of stuff done all at the same time. You can farm for your artifacts, which you're going to need to do eventually. You can work on that spider tournament, and while you're actually farming your artifacts, you can get them up to, you know, level 4 or, you know, level 8, or even if you want to take them all the way up to 12, 16, work on this and just kind of start selling off some of those bad artifacts that you get from the spider tournament to work on some points for this as well. So there's a decent amount of stuff going on. You definitely have your options as well. If you don't want to do spider at all and you still want to work on the artifact enhancement event, you can always get back to that giant champion training, go and farm brutal, and just take the equipment that you get, level it up to +4, and then sell it and get some additional points for the artifact enhancement. So lots of different options for how you want to complete the events that we have going on in-game as well. Now, the last thing that I want to mention in the video today is something really interesting that I don't think I've seen Plarium go this crazy all out before. Now, this isn't really going to apply to a whole lot of people, but I thought it was very interesting to note the crazy amount of rewards that they are actually giving for this Raid music video contest. Now, this is a lot of effort, of course. Again, I don't think too many of you guys are going to be interested in participating in something like this. You know, if you are, that's great. Maybe these rewards will entice you, though. But this is absolutely crazy. Look at the stuff that they are giving out for first place. 10 Sacred Shards, 20 Void Shards, 65 Ancient Shards, 6,000 Energy, 6 million silver, and 4,500 gems. Wow, that is absolutely insane. That is so much stuff. Again, I've been playing for a year, and I just don't know if I've seen Plarium give out something like this as a prize, all in one go anyway. This is insane. So, you know, those of you guys who are participating in this, good luck, of course. Those rewards are very enticing, and yeah, that's going to be pretty much everything for the news and announcements for Raid Shadow Legends for today. So, thank you guys, everyone, for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys did and you want more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to help out, toss a quick like. It means more than you can imagine. And more Raid Shadow Legends videos should be popping up on your screen right about now. Feel free to check them out. But if not, until next time, have a great day, everyone. And this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.